let's have a read into this question together once. The question says that the average age of A, B, C, and D, these four people, is two more than the average age of A, B, and C, and also three more than the average of A and B. So what it says is the average age of A, B, C, and D is three more than the average age of A and B. So both the comparison has been done using the average age of A, B, C, and D, right? So let me just draw a small graph here. See, what I know is the highest is the average of ABCD, which is more than the average of ABC by 2 years. And the average age of ABCD is three more than the average age of A and B. So the average of A and B should be the lowest, right? So from here to here, so from this point to this point, the average of AB to average of ABC, we have an increase of 1 year. Similarly, from ABC to average of ABCD, there's an increase of 2 years. I hope this is understood because here to here, there's an increase of 3 years. So this part should be an increase of 1 year, right? There is already a 2 increase later on. Now, what are we looking for? We are looking for the average age of C and D is more than C's age by how many years, right? So we don't intend to calculate the exact average values. And in this case, we actually cannot find the exact average values. So in these kind of questions, it should be very obvious to everybody that we don't care about exact values anyhow. So what we can do is we can assume some values for these three numbers. So I can start assuming something for here, and accordingly we can figure out the individual averages. So what is the easiest number that we can think of? We can assume this value to be zero. I mean, both are 0 years old or something. I don't care. I'm just assuming this particular average to be zero. So similarly, this becomes one, and this becomes three, right? So that is what we have. Now, when the simplified part of taking these small average values is that once you have taken very small values for averages, or even in the question, if it is given, I mean, the values are given and they are very small values, in that case, you can actually work with total, right? Because it's not going to be too much calculation intensive anyhow. So in this case, for the first scenario, average of A and B is zero. So A plus B, the total should be zero. This is very simple, right? And from the second information, we know that A, B, C average is one. So A plus B plus C should be 3, but A plus B is 0, so effectively C should be equal to 3, right? So C is 3. This is from the second information. And from the final one, we know that A plus B plus C plus D, the average of these four people is 3. So the total should be 12, right? And again, AB is 0. So effectively what we get is C plus D is equal to 12. So if C plus D is equal to 12, the average of C and D, this is just two people, should be 6, half of the total. So average of C and D is 6, C is 3. So how much more is the average than the age of C? So that is 3 years, right? 3 to 6, that's an increase of 3 years. So that is it. Very simple problem. I hope that was understood. Thank you.